So this story involves and has quotes from one of our fellow correspondents here at High NI News, Mr. Luke Scarmazzo. So we want to give Luke some props on this article coming out. And the title of the article, you guys: Man who spent 14 years in federal prison challenges Trump and Biden on cannabis reform, you guys. That's right. Luke Scarmazzo says it's quite obvious that the Biden campaign is using cannabis reform to boost his campaign in this high-stakes election. That's right, you guys. In another quote, there are still 3,000 people incarcerated in federal prison for cannabis, and moving cannabis to Schedule 3 does not change their sentences, says Luke Scarmazzo, a cannabis entrepreneur who recently released from federal prison after 14 years from running a state legal cannabis dispensary back in 2006. While President Biden has issued some pardon proclamations, the real-world impact of the Biden administration's cannabis pardons is a net zero. No one was released from prison by the recent proclamations from the Biden administration, and the Biden administration has not yet released a single person from prison who has a marijuana-only offense. Both Presidents Biden and Trump have publicly pandered on this issue for political support, but neither has gone far enough to end the injustice, he says. Scarmazzo authored a book about his ordeal, High Price, which is available in Amazon and everywhere else you buy books, by Luke Scarmazzo. And in 2024, the Flower Valley Press released it, including the sentence communication he was promised by the Trump administration, which was on President Trump's desk the day of Biden's inauguration. In a quote, President Trump had the opportunity to commute my sentence. It was actually approved, and they called my parents and told them to get ready because your son is coming home. And yet last minute, due to outside pressures, my communication was pulled, and I sat in prison for 4 more years. Scarmazzo says. Scarmazzo was ultimately released in 2023 by a federal judge and has gone on to start another state legal cannabis business, Profit. He adds that it is quite obvious that the Biden administration is using cannabis reform to boost its campaign in this high-stakes election, and Scarmazzo is challenging the president to use his platform now to make real change in lives of the 3,000 federal prisoners still serving time for nonviolent cannabis crimes. In a quote, to truly make progress on this front, all President Biden would have to do is issue a mass communication to every man and woman who's incarcerated for cannabis in a federal prison. We must demand that President Biden fulfill his campaign promise to release everyone who's incarcerated for cannabis and expunge their records, he says. He adds that President Biden could take a cue from Maryland Governor Wes Moore, who recently announced 175,000 pardons of nonviolent state cannabis crimes. In a quote, Governor Moore is leading the charge by issuing mass pardons for cannabis offenders, including people with sales convictions, and not waiting on the White House to act. Scarmazzo adds that he is cautiously optimistic about either President Trump or President Biden being reelected because they both have a track record of promising reform to pander to votes despite forging meaningful change, and both can and should be pressed to bring home prisoners during this election. He notes that right now, however, President Biden has the ability to make the greatest impact, and former federal prisoners like himself would love to come to the table and help guide more meaningful reform, he says. Well, Luke, I do want to thank you for all of your advocacy in regards to this, and I totally agree that we do need to bring these men and women home. And not only that, I think Biden has done a lot more pandering than Trump, because Trump, but nonetheless, I'm not going to go into all that tangent. I want to hear what you guys have to say, and this is Jason Beck for the High at 9 News Hour. What do y'all think about this?
See, all that unity that I brought together in the last story, now you're just trying to make it I'm
a very...
Let's just keep it real. Like, that politicians pander. That's what they do.
No, they don't.
Their job is to pander.
No, they're not. Their job is to raise funds. That's their job, is to raise money.
That's their
number one job as a politician.
To raise money.
Well, to be fair, President
Your
Trump did
job is
commute
to
his
serve the people that have stuffed money into their pockets.
That's the job
100%.
description. That's the job description.
Hey, what do we all do? We work for the people that pay us, right?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So, I get it, but I mean,
So we should fire them.
We should fire them or stop paying them.
Burn it down.
Listen, so I mean, I think that, and also it's a commutation. So I mean, as far as commuting the sentences, President Trump, I believe, did commute his sentence, and then after that, why do you think that was scaled back? I mean, that's really, I couldn't imagine
I think
as
it's
a
because
mother
of
having
BOP.
someone telling me my son's coming home, and then being like, just kidding, you got
said it's 'cause
goose.
of
It's
BOP?
awful.
To the BOP, the Bureau of Prisons. To my understanding, there was Luke's and others got kind of like sidebarred at the last minute in the 11th hour in regards by the Bureau of Prisons, and so that is to my understanding.
Big shout out to Corvan Cooper got the 11th hour.
Exactly. Corvain got released, and so Trump in all fairness, and Trump has released more cannabis prisoners than Biden has.
100%.
I don't know. I'm gonna check those numbers, and I'll have an update.
You can check them
on a second.
because we just stated even in the article that no one was freed from Biden's pardon, so that way no one got out of jail. So therefore, like his number is a big fat goose eggs. Rico.
No, I think they literally one-upped him. I think like a couple of months ago.
They literally
releasing just enough to beat Trump in the numbers.
I don't know.
I think it was some bullshit.
Well, let's check.
We can all agree on that.
Let's definitely check, because I think that it was very interesting that his was much more of a pomp and circumstance kind of pardon, because no one is in federal penitentiary for simple possession, and so we knew no one was getting out. Still, people celebrated. You guys, you got to do better. Please, please, please be smarter.
Mathieu St. Germain, what do you think about this?
Oh, hey guys, am I on?
Yeah,
I was trying to make
there.
rabbit ears behind Rico. I just got moved.
That's cute. That's cute.
I mean, I think all drug war prisoners should be
conjoined twins
released,
right
and I think I think we should round the cannabis prisoners in the same bin as the psychedelic prisoners as well. I think they should all be released.
I'm not.
We should abolish money.
Whoa.
We should have dance parties in the streets.
How would people know how to
I think
count?
we should take all the intercontinental ballistic missiles and we should turn them into subwoofers. Happy Friday.
Interesting. Wouldn't they just turn those into like Burning Man activations, though, Mathieu St. Germain?
Let's. Yes, I propose that we do so.
Just saying.
I second.
Oh, look at that!
Or fewer people have died at Burning Man than in the last U.S. war. Guaranteed.
It's fair enough. And there's no water out there.
That is usually what happens.
You got to bring all of your own everything.
Mm-hmm.
We do have water.
You have a well out there, Elise?
No, but we bring a big water tank.
Exactly. See, you guys bring it. You guys gotta cart it out there. You gotta lug it out there.
Oh, we leave no trace.
You leave no trace.
Except all those bicycles.
Exactly. Except for when people get stuck in the mud, huh, Mathieu St. Germain?
Oh, bro, that was just all the panickers, bro. Everybody who knew better and just stood still had a great time.
I will
Just
never
laughing
forget
at all those
Diplo in the
dummies.
back of the truck.